Hydrofield cuts through my neighborhood.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fearlessly Authentic. I'm Lucky, and we got Mr. Steve.
Yo, what's happening, people?
And
goes it?
we have our co-host tonight is Shelly. How are you, Shelly?
Poison Alice.
Poison Alice. I know. Oh my gosh, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Hey, easy with the Beatles.
Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Lightfoot.
No, I was thinking about Lady Alex, like how she's gonna do the Beetlejuice thing for me. Oh, but she likes to call you Poison.
Oh. So, how are you feeling about your green screen weirdness behind you? Is that like groovy enough for you?
Yeah,
that's cool.
All right, I just want to make sure.
If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have left it. He knows that.
All right.
I'm not afraid to say how I feel about something.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks good with all the rest of the weirdness.
Yeah, I had to match the background to something that I thought.
I wouldn't have chosen that one, but hey, I'm not in charge of this show. I'm just the guy on the microphone and the voice in the background.
Drinking the beer.
I ate them. Oh, sorry, it's my dog.
He could be a ghost.
We could be ghosts. How's everybody doing?
I don't know.
Ghosts and otherwise.
Yeah, let's see. Popeye checked in and said he was doing a show tonight. He asked to do, but he's gonna tell the history of the Blue Devils. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
He could do that on my show, but no.
Love you.
Do you think he would come on my show and do that?
Have you asked him to come back on?
No, probably not.
I've not said, hey, Brian, would you come back on my show? And no.
Calling it out.
Yeah, that would probably
Thanks for
be
pointing
why.
out that inequity, that obvious inequity of mine. I appreciate that. And having had a couple of Two Roads Road to Ruin beers, I feel at ease telling you guys how I feel about it.
And Sarah said he hopes that the cops survived. Yeah, when I'm gonna say hi to everybody, and then we're gonna go into the story about what happened, like our reality with the cops today. What happened, like right outside of our door. Pretty crazy shit.
I wish I would have had my wherewithal to have filmed it. Because
fuck,
we would have blew up your channel so fast, like with
God
video.
No, yeah, nobody filmed it. It was
because it was pretty fucking like traumatic, like to watch.
Well,
like,
okay,
it was crazy.
We'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I went outside. Yeah, I didn't have my phone with me because I was walking to the dumpster. So,
woo.
General meow meow.
Little's got no brakes. All right. Can I get a woot?
Woo woo.
He's like looking down. Is that my brakes? Woo. No, it's fine.
Yeah, Steve always is. Look at this. This is not me, guys. You should know.
It wasn't.
You should know. It's.
I did. I always do. Because I always forget that, like, when I'm sitting there at the computer and I'm signed in on one of Lucky's streams, it's signed in as Lucky because it's her stream. You know what I mean? And then, but I always sit on that computer, so I forget. And then I start talking to people. I see people, like, it says, 4 are waiting in the chat. Like, there's 4 people in the chat 9 hours before the show. Okay. I'm going to say hi. I'm going to reach out.
It wasn't 9 hours before.
Or whatever, but you know what I mean? It happens all the time. And then you're like, oh, I just said hi, and then I realized, oh, that wasn't me at all. Damn it.
Oh my gosh. Trying to give everybody a minute to get in here. You're
happens
right.
All
like
the time.
The stuff that happened today. Freaking nuts. Like,
Stuff has happened today. Boris, Mr. Johnson, fucking said, "I'm out."
yeah. Well, he was forced.
Well, it was by design, certainly.
Yeah, he didn't like do that willingly.
He
was
didn't say
forced
sorry,
out.
everybody. He was like, "Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
Little, what kind of brakes do you have? Are they drum brakes? I have drum brakes on my van.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
even think to ask Little what kind of brakes we were talking about here.
Yeah. Well, I have. Yeah, we have like we have to use this special like tool. It looks like the spring puller.
Yeah,
For the springs, because
the
my
old
van has huge springs in the brake system. It's freaking crazy.
I'm a special tool.
Me too.
Me too. Just not a brake tool. That was
I'm
cute.
not good on brakes, but
That was cute. Shelly's like, I'm a special tool. Did you also Little, when you do your brakes, do you put the little metal sheets that go that come with the brakes if you replace them, the brake pads? Do you put those on there? What do you do with those?
fill in with they're weird little like sheet metal things.
They're little shims. Like
Shimmer.
I throw them the fuck away.
Yeah.
Because why, Steve? Why? Because we had an issue with them?
Because
I told them
there to confuse a person. Really, when you get down to it, that's all it's there for. And I hope
I'm just pointing out to Steve that because we had a whole "I told you so" moment, with why don't you listen to me when it comes to working on the van, and I've done the brakes before, and
I don't think these people tuned in for that episode exactly.
No,
okay,
but those little metal sheet things they end up causing issues later on.
They do. And we should just, point that out right up front.
If you ever do your own brakes, consult an expert. We are not.
Also,
experts.
I hope I can capture that little snippet of Shelley saying, "I'm a special little tool."
Oh no,
that's a killer soundbite right there.
What did I get myself into?
Yep, Little, you got it right. That's what we got. We got the drum in the back and the disc in the front.
Remember when you could have a MySpace where you could just put a sound file so people clicked on your fucking site?
Yes, I missed that.
Said something. Yeah, man. Can we do that again? Can we just leave that on Shelley's Twitter, and when you click on the profile, it says, "I'm a special little tool."
But okay, well, I'm sure we could just have a little video pinned on the top of our profiles.
Well, yes. But a sound file is so innocuous. It's just oh, what is that? Bink, and it does the thing. I don't know. Just an idea, Twitter. Okay, if you're listening, I know you are. Sons of bitches.
Oh, awesome!
Working
General
together
Meow
with
Meow
YouTube.
helped with Jim Young's audio.
Oh, did you guys work it out, Jim? Because that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I hope they worked it out.
I hope so too, because that was so frustrating last week. Trying to listen to you guys, all right, turn it up really loud, and then turn it way down quick because somebody else is going to speak. And
yeah, because we plan on setting everyone over there after the show.
It was just back and forth. Yeah, we want to send everybody from here to there.
It was such a good conversation too.
Yeah,
I was so fascinated by what Jim's friend was saying about Ukraine and shit because he's Polish.
Yeah, Jim always has interesting topics and things that they're discussing, fascinating good stuff. Stuff that needs to be discussed and heard. So
Dingo said
that audio stuff.
Dingo said that the shims help with the vibration and the noise.
Oh.
Yeah, but with us, they were actually causing problems because the shims did not stay in place.
Yeah, and they would catch. And that's what happened to us on one side. I think, I don't know. I don't believe in the shim. I'm going to pass on the shim idea for brakes. All right. Officially, right now, I'm just going to pass.
I've always had problems with the shims. And they tell you your brake pads are low. Well, see, I don't know. My buddy Chucky that I used to work on my van with was anti-shim.
Anti-shim. You're either for shims or you're not for shims. You know what I mean? You can't. It's binary. You're either Chevy or Ford. Okay, am I right? Hello.
Okay.
Is this thing on?
Yes. So I wanted to start out today.
Thank you.
Guinness is gonna introduce it. Yeah. Exactly, Guinness.
She said, "Fuck the police."
Yeah.
Fuck.
So
police.
Oh, wait. She pees on every time we walk past the police department, the police station. She pees on it. On the lawn. I don't know why. Even if she doesn't even have to pee, she's got to do something on that lawn. I don't know why.
She's a good girl.
I swear to God, I did not train her to do that. It just happened. It's like some premium grass or something.
She's a good girl. That's a good girl. Guinness.
He's a very good girl. I have to tell you that.
But now you're gonna bark. Come here. You want to come up? Is that what you want? Come here. All right. If not, I'm getting the show started.
Leo was like,
so
fuck cops. That's what he said in his little tiny voice.
Okay. So what happened today with the cops and how I so I was sitting in we were in our kitchen and had the back door open, and I hear this loud like boom, like someone threw something, like something hit the ground, and I'm like, what is going on? So I go out the back door and I see this broken up like cinder block all over the pavement, like on the sidewalk, and I'm like, what the hell? And I see this kid, this guy. I'm calling him a kid. He's an adult, young adult, but an adult. I see him walking away, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you breaking my shit out here? Because that's what I usually tie up I usually use one for Leo and one for the cat, and I use it to attach their leashes to. That's what the cinder blocks are heavy enough they can't move them. And so this guy apparently had picked it up and smashed it, and it was in pieces everywhere. And I go out and I start yelling at him. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you out here breaking shit? It's not yours, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm loud with the kid. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I just know that this kid broke my shit. So Steve comes out behind me and because he hears me yelling at this guy, and he continues just like walking along, and I'm like, what? I'm like, you're just going to ignore me? I'm like, what are you doing? Why are it's bullshit. I'm irritated. And so he continues walking along, and this is along the backside of our apartment. Okay, so our apartments are in like a row type. I don't know. There's probably like 10 or 12 apartments all in a row, but they're all like lined up, and everybody has their own front and back door. So I pick up the pieces of the cinder block because it's completely like broken up, and I'm like, fine, whatever. This kid is just like, he's walking around towards the front. So I grab the pieces off of because it's all over the grass and it's all over the sidewalk. So I grab them and I'm like, fine, whatever. I'm going to go throw them in the dumpster. So I just running out barefoot to throw them out in the dumpster, and I go outside and I see him with the cinder block across the way from my apartment. Like, he's come all the way down and around past like 6 or 7 apartments and around the building to the front. Like, so I'm out there and I'm holding these pieces to go throw them away in the dumpster. And the cops are there, and this kid is out there. And there's like people just kind of like, my neighbors are all kind of out and like staring at this situation. Steve, you like walked away in the middle of like when you're actually come out and you're involved with this. Yeah. So what are you doing? Oh my God. So I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, this kid just was behind the house, and I'm like, he was yelling and everything like that, and he broke the cinder block, and he's out there with his I assumed at the time, wasn't sure, but it was his mom and his mom, and he's yelling and he's all upset, and the cops are there, and they show up, and they're like going over to try to talk to the kid, and it's across like it's like we have parking right in front of our apartment, like single rows of cars that can, one car can park in each spot, and then there's like the drive area, and then like the other side there's apartments that mirror on the other side. So he's across like the little street right from me, but it's not like a really wide like street. I don't know, he's probably like 30 feet or something, 25 feet away. So he's got these big chunks of the cinder block, and he's out there with his mom, and then this other gentleman comes and is like trying to tackle him, and the cops come, and they're trying to then keep the mom away from him because she's screaming and everybody's hysterical, and it's all happening like all at once. And the cops pull out their tasers because they were trying to like talk him down and try to get him to like, they're like, come on, like, just like, let's put the cement blocks down, like we just want to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And he's acting like just completely erratic. And at this time, that's the only bit of information I have, is that this is happening, and like that, so, they tase him, and he still is fighting back, and he's like, I'm like, oh shit, what am I witnessing here? What is happening like right now? Like everything is flashing through my mind, like, oh my God, I don't want to be seeing something where somebody like, and it's a young black kid, and these are white cops, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I like the everything is flashing through my mind at the same time, and I'm just standing there holding these blocks, like, what the hell am I supposed to do? And so this guy tried to tackle him that was there. I found out later on it was somebody that the mom had called. It was a pastor that they, respected. She called because she didn't know what to do. And so they tased him, and he's like, he is fighting back hardcore. Like, they're not taking this kid down, even with a second cop coming in and tasing. And I'm thinking that this second cop was tasing the boy at the time. Is what it seemed like. But Steve, do you want to tell them your part of that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course, you have your mouth full. Steve, really?
Mm-hmm. So Steve comes out and starts to witness what I'm witnessing outside. Immediately after the dude goes through our backyard and breaks some bricks or whatever, I step outside, and I go outside in the backyard, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? You just gonna walk away? After Lucky had already said something to him.
Yeah, I was like, you're just gonna walk away from it. Yeah.
So I come back through the house and walk out the front door. As I walk out the front door, I see dude and the guy who is the pastor or whatever, the person, other male person.
And that guy is short. This other kid, the younger guy that broke the cinder block and that was getting tased, he's tall. He's
like 6'4", and the other guy is like 5'11", and the guy who was
not
bit
even
smaller,
that tall.
The guy that was smaller tried to tackle him, and that's like as the cops say, "Hey, hold it, just stay right there for a minute." As they say that, the other guy who was the pastor or whatever actually wraps arms around dude and tries to bring him down, kind of wrestles with him a little bit, and then the cop tases him. The kid falls down hard. The cops jump on him. There's 2 cops, and they both jump on him. And the taser is still lodged in the kid, and one cop has the gun, and the other cop that's in front of the mess, who's the second policeman, is trying to fucking wrestle the pistol grip of the taser out of the hands of the kid because he's taking it away from the first cop. And at that point, the other cop gets it back and tases the second cop.
No.
And the kid breaks free.
No, but the kid never tased the cop.
No. It wasn't the kid. It was the other policeman.
Got
the pistol.
One of the cops. Yeah, and the kid.
Once he got it,
the kid that was being tased got tased by the cop. Yes. Got the taser from him.
Yes.
And then the second cop comes in and is trying to use a taser. And I found out after, because I asked the cop, I'm like, did he tase one of you guys? He goes, no, I tased my partner. Like, you fucking idiot.
That is the best part of the story.
Great.
And I'm thinking, like, I was just like standing there, like,
Man, I wish
kind of karma, you know. But I mean, there's more to it. There's more to the story about what happened. I found out, like, the details of what was going on with the guy and more. But go ahead, you go ahead and then I'll fill in the rest.
So the kid breaks free at that point after one of the cops gets tased.
Yeah, he gets free from the cops after this whole tussle.
So after this tussle, he breaks free and he runs down the street in between houses. And he kind of misjudges a thing and lands bad and smashes.
No, he ran down and behind, kind of like behind our apartment, but he ran into a laundry line thing. Like it was one of those the laundry lines where it's like it's in a pole and it has like the just the like the things up top or whatever that you can use it, and it kind of spins around in the ground. It's not like one of the 2 pole ones. It's just a single thing. He was all dazed, and he because the lady that lives behind us, she told me this. So he ran into that, and then I guess he hit the side of one of the duplexes right there, and she heard him because she comes running up with her dog, and I was like, you probably don't want to be up here right now, like you probably want to go to your yard, because we didn't know what was happening, like why he was doing all this, like what was like his frame of mind. So I found out afterwards that this young black man he has some severe mental health stuff going on. He from there the cops chase him, and they do get him again. I don't know if they tased him again a second time. It wasn't within our sight, but the mom is freaking out, like because when the cops went to go get on top of him, like they were going to put their knees on it, like to restrain this guy. I mean, obviously he was in good shape. So they did get him, like, a few minutes later. Like the taser probably like just really, knocked him on his ass or whatever. But oh yeah, he was in shape. He was definitely in shape, probably in better shape than those cops. Yeah. But so they come back over, and I'm like still standing there with bricks in my hands, like I didn't put him down. I didn't want to put him down and have, have him grab him or try to use him again or something. But he still had him with him over there with the whole scuffle. Like there was still a piece over there. Like he knocked the cop's glasses off his face, everything. It was insane. So after that, they're like, yeah, we got on. They come over and they're like, yeah, we have him. We're getting him an ambulance, and we're gonna send him in the ambulance, down to the hospital. And the mom is like, she was right there, right there when it happened. Like she almost got tased because she was like, she was right there with him. So she's just obviously upset, freaking out. like crying. And the cop comes over to say, yeah, okay, we got him. We're going to send him in an ambulance. And she's like, I need to see him. And he's like, no, we're not. No, you can't. Nobody can see him right now. He's going in the ambulance. That's just not, no. And I look at the cop and I said, no, she needs to see him right now. You know the climate of this country right now. You know what's going on. And you can't tell her that she can't see her child. She might not need to like go over and actually talk to him, but she needs to physically see him. And they looked at me and like they were gonna, tell me no, that they weren't like, but I insisted on it. And the cop listened to me. The cop took the mom over across, kind of diagonal from where we were, but not over where he was. But she saw him get walked into the ambulance. And I pointed that out to the cop that, no, you need to allow her to see him because she's like, I want to know he's alive. I want to know my child's alive. Imagine being a Black mother and this situation unfolds. And earlier that day, now, and this is another reason why it was such a traumatic experience for her, is because I found this out after she told me, after she had, they had let her go over and see her son from a distance, not talk to him, but see that he was physically like at least alive. She said earlier, he said, I wanted to have suicide by cop. So he was trying. He was trying to have those cops kill him. And she told them that. And like the look on their face, and I'm like, yeah, exactly why she deserved to go over and say hi and see that her son was alive. And I didn't know that at the time when I advocated for it. But the cops listened to me. And I think that they actually, I am not, I'm not pro cop. But they handled it really, really well. They came back and they spoke with her afterwards. They checked in on her. He said, I'm going to put it in my report. We're sending him over to the hospital to get mental health evaluation. He'll be submitted into the hospital because of the, because of that with the suicide, like we are going to, I'll make sure I put it in my report. And do I believe them? Absolutely. I actually believe that they will put those things in the report, that I feel like they did have some compassion. The cops actually did the right thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, cops did the right thing. Ladies and gentlemen,
for once.
Again, one time. Didn't shoot anybody 60 times in the fucking back. Way to go. Way to fucking go.
I could have, if they handled it wrong, I could have seen somebody get killed today.
Yeah,
like right in my own neighborhood.
It was moments from fucking happening, man. It was right there. That cop pulled his taser so fucking fast. They are so ready. It doesn't matter. They are trained to take you the fuck down. And even if you are a really fit, 6 foot plus, really athletic motherfucker like this kid was, they got something for your ass. They will tase you. 2 people will tase you. They will tase you until you're fucking done. They'll fucking kneel on your neck. They don't give a fuck. And
then they'll tase themselves.
It was nice to see that nobody died.
Yeah.
That was really the upsell of this moment.
I was like thankful. I was so grateful that they didn't pull their guns out. Like our neighborhood it's a very diverse neighborhood. A lot of little kids in the neighborhood. It's like of all ages. It's lower income housing, so it doesn't always come with, you don't always get that kind of outcome. Like we don't live in some rich neighborhood where it's like, oh, they come with compassion. And
I have been in pretty much all of the lower income housing in Connecticut and Rhode Island over my lifetime, over years of being a fucking drug addict and looking for the best deals and being in bad places that I probably shouldn't be, I've seen them all. This is like Mr. fucking, you know what I mean? Like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood of projects. It is the sweetest, most wholesome, no thugs on the corner fucking projects you ever seen. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. I was like,
yeah, that's my apartment building.
I was like, wow, nothing happens here. What the fuck?
Well, when I
What
talked
the fuck
to,
is happening?
I
here?
had to do a
Nothing?
report.
Wow.
I had
That's
to give them my name, my government name, and stuff like that to, you know, because I had interactions with him. No, Kim, we did not. We were just talking about the police incident that happened today outside of our house. So I use this opportunity to bring up that, you know, to my neighbors and to the cop, this is why we need healthcare in this country. This is why we need reform and why we need change and why we need all the things that we need. This is why we need people to be able to come out of poverty. And this is why community matters. And I looked at one of the cops, the one that took my statement, and I said, you know, I've been up here for 12 years. When I first moved up here, it wasn't this neighborhood. It wasn't like this when I moved up here.
I'm sure it was all fucking a bunch of thugs selling crack. And
no, there wasn't a bunch. Stop, Steve. Stop. That's not
what it is everywhere else in Connecticut.
No, that's not what it was at all. It was never like that. But there was some
amazing.
people that weren't great up here. There was like, you know, some rivalry shit happened, and I guess there was somebody that, you know, had, you know, gotten a huge bust up here before, but it never really, like, I was never afraid to be outside with my kid or anything like that. But at the same time, it's completely different. Like, I know who my neighbors are. They know, like, their kids know, like, if they need something, they know they can come and knock on my door, you know, and you know, and everything else. So yeah, I used this opportunity to make it a learning experience. Can you help with him or get her, please? Try to make it like an experience. Like, you know, I let her know, you know, hey, I'm right down here. If you need me, I'm here. We have community. You need to reach out. And if you need something, if you need support, if you know, like, don't be afraid to reach out to us as your neighbors. And that's why the neighborhood has grown. That's why it's not a huge neighborhood, you know, but like, it's why people feel like, you know, more comfortable, is because it's the culture of how we are. You know, the people that have been up here for a longer time, like, we know each other, at least the people like in my, you know, direct vicinity. And it's just, we always got to remember that everything is a moment where we can reach out to people and let them know that we're not only here for them, that we can get through this shit together. And that we're going to need each other, and it's each other that we need. We need each other.
Can I just say that, like, how sad it is that anytime you see anybody who just happens to see like an incident involving cops, like, everybody's afraid that, like, they might shoot somebody to death. It's really, really sad that it's come down to that. And you have to, like, applaud cops for not doing it. And it's not supposed to be like that. I don't know what else to say. It's just so frustrating.
It's extremely frustrating when, you know, and then the neighbor that did call the cops, she came over and talked to her and apologized. And she was like, I'm sorry I called the cops, because you don't call the cops. You know, you have to remember, when you're calling the cops, you are calling a gun into that situation.
Yeah. I don't call the cops.
I feel like what she did, they handled it properly, right? The cops were, oh my God. Can you please get Sky and tell her to please, like, I don't know. I need help. She came over and apologized and was like, I'm sorry I called them. I just know that if I didn't, it could have ended up worse. And I had, like, when she said that, like, I had chills. Like, yeah, like, people, they needed somebody that was going to be able to do something to stop the young man who was in the middle of a mental health break. He was having a mental health breakdown, and now at least they called the ambulance. They got him to the hospital. I mean,
well, I have my own weird positive experience with cops too, but it's a little different. And it happens to be the Chicago police. And it happens to involve being with somebody who was going through a psychotic break at the time. I had started going on a road trip. From here, we were supposed to, like, kind of circle the country. And as we were, like, driving, her mind just kept on breaking down more and more. I'd fall asleep in the car and wake up, and she'd be having a conversation with herself, but, like, she was talking to somebody and responding to questions and stuff. It was just really weird. And she was blaming me for things that I didn't do. And she'd, like, yell at me and scream at me, be, like, trapped in a car with her doing this. She blamed me for some imaginary thing and threw a 2-liter bottle of soda at my head. She hit me. That was in Detroit. That was when we were leaving Detroit. So when we finally got to Chicago, we checked into the hotel, and I called my sister, and I broke down. I couldn't handle it. Yeah. So my sister called Amtrak to see if there was a train leaving. There was, and she said, she's like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but call the police and try to get your stuff back from Kim, because she was, like, trying to find a parking spot, and it took her, like, 3 hours to do it anyway. So, I called cops, and they came, but there wasn't, like, anything they could really do because she wasn't there.
Yeah.
So what they did was they were like, just pack up your stuff and we'll take you to the train station. I got right in the paddy wagon, and we were, like, cracking jokes the whole time. Like, they were really super cool about it. And I was like, I gotta escape this woman. She's having a psychotic break, and I fear for my physical safety. And yeah, like, they actually believed me. It was just a weird experience.
Yeah.
And well, what's even weirder is that when my sister called the train station, she had only called to see if they had tickets to New York. So when I got there, I bought the very last straight through ticket from Chicago to Utica, New York. Mm-hmm. A straight 24-hour train.
Damn.
Yeah. So nobody had held that ticket over for me. The cops didn't even contact the train station. All they did was give me a ride. All my sister was looking, all my sister was asking was if there was any trains that night. She didn't ask if there was any tickets available. So it was really weird how all that happened. But yeah, I was really worried about what exactly might happen with the cops. Because you hear all the stories about Chicago Police Department. And we stopped at a McDonald's there in Chicago that had armed security guards in there. So that it was, I don't know. I really wasn't expecting an experience like that.
Hey, I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on where you are in the world. Like, Remember we went to see Dad and Co. in fucking Brooklyn, and there's just like a line of fucking army dudes with fucking AK-47s or
the
or
cops. They weren't army dudes. They were
No,
cops with AKs
They
at a
looked
Grateful
like army
Dead
dudes.
show.
They were fully fucking
What?
dressed in full fucking regalia.
Holy
I was
shit.
like, this
Full
is fucking
riot gear.
scary.
Full riot gear and big fucking machine guns, and they're all standing in a row, and there's like, I don't know, 50 of them in a row in front of the entrance to the fucking where the fucking Mets play baseball. I'm like, what is happening in the world right now? Like, this didn't make any sense in my mind. Wow. This is a really fucking secure event, man. This is the most
it's
secure
bizarre.
headline I've ever seen. But meanwhile, this is the weird part. Meanwhile, on the other side of the parking lot, there are cops literally directing kids with nitrous tanks on skateboards to go to the other side of the parking lot to sell their nitrous. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking.
Oh no, I believe
Cops on
I believe
Segway.
it.
Cops on Segways telling hippies to fucking take their nitrous
my
and sell it over
God.
there. Like, what?
And that nitrous, there's a nitrous mafia, like
Oh,
on
it
lot.
was-
Like
it
there's
was-
some serious shit that you don't realize.
Like
Like
summer tour is bizarre like that on like all these stadium shows, like all the baseball stadiums across the country. Like there's some fucking weird shit happening, like underwritten by like nitrous mafia dudes who own all the parking lots.
yeah, like there is
and they
real
can set up
like
wherever they want, and the cops don't tell them anything. And if you're a nitrous dude, like that's a fucking, by yourself, fucking independent guy trying to make a couple bucks, they're like, no, go over there and sell it. And then you have to deal with the mobsters over there who are going to kick your ass because you're trying to sell fucking nitrous on their turf. You know what I mean? Nuts. It's just absolutely crazy.
cops on
It's a
Segways,
sucker.
man.
Cops on Segway. Who knew? Who knew it would get so
Oh
weird?
my God.
That's in full effect right now too. That's so weird.
I think I don't know. I can't remember if he said anything about being tased during that incident with the cops outside.
Oh.
The gentleman outside, did he yell, "Don't tase me, bro," or
No, he
anything like
didn't.
that?
He did not yell.
Then
He
aggravated
did
progressive
yell.
asked if they tased the demons out of him.
They did. And they also said, as he screamed, "Motherfucker," as the dude tackled him before he got
He did.
tased. He yelled, "Motherfucker."
I wish I had my
Those-
camera.
I so wish it, because we would have went viral. So like, damn, this is some fucked up shit. Because I was like,
Yeah,
very, very impressed by the ultraviolet.
he was
aspect of it all.
he was drinking and stuff, and I don't know about anything else.
It was
but-
like Terry Gilliam level. It was good. People who enjoy that sort of
and I guess what happened with the young guy is that he felt he had a love interest, and he was rejected by the love interest that
right.
had already rejected him before.
I forgot that aspect of the
And
thing.
and he had been over doing like trying to do like some Job Corps stuff, and then like left and came back, and so the kid, like he's fit. Like I'm lucky myself, literally,
Ran right
that-
by you.
that he didn't try to do anything towards me.
He ran right by you. He could have tackled you. He was like literally, when he ran from the cops, he ran right by you.
Well, yeah, you didn't know what his goal was. It could have been
Absolutely.
anything.
No, he stepped away from the cops, and he looked my way, and I was standing on the sidewalk, and I started walking towards him, and he was like, "Bam!" and he ran the other way, and that's where Lucky was, right down the sidewalk from me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad that it didn't end up with him being shot or anybody else being shot, and nobody was terribly injured. And,
I don't
our
know if
hospital has the capacity there. We have a mental health facility there.
Dingo wants to know
This-
if
okay,
the,
Steve.
if the preacher was a love interest. That's all he wants to know.
No, he wasn't. No, it wasn't like that.
Something like that.
No, and I've had an incident where somebody that I knew had a mental health break, and the cops actually handled it in an appropriate way. Very, very, like, and they actually had to bring in the search dogs to go find the person that that they were searching for. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it was crazy the way that it unfolded. And yes, Vicky, he clotheslined himself. He did. But what was really, you guys with the clothesline jokes. It was really good that afterwards, though, that my other neighbor came over and was like, "Listen, I'm the one who called the cops, and I don't usually call the cops, but I feel like I prevented something worse from happening." And I absolutely agree with her. Can you get Sky, please? Can you help with this, please? So, Steve, he's mad because I'm like, can you get Skyla or help me with the bird? Because the bird's screaming. But yeah, they actually, like I said, they handled it pretty good. So
Yeah, it's so
could have
weird.
been worse.
I've had like nothing but bad experiences with the Oneonta PD, and I was really surprised to have that experience with Chicago PD of all places. And
Yeah.
I think like all the interactions I've had with police in Norwich has been pretty good. But it's a small town, it's like just over or somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 residents.
Yeah, that's not a lot
So
of people.
yeah, and it's a county seat, so it's like the biggest in the county.
I'm glad I spoke up to Omar. And another thing is that they went. She said to me, she in her panic, the mom, she was like, she said the cop went to put his knee on him the way that they did with that guy, and I'm like, George Floyd, and she's like, yeah. So like she's like, he wanted to be, he was like, I want suicide by cop. I want to die, suicide by cop. And then they're, going to do that. And obviously he didn't really want that,
I'm wondering if
or I hope that he didn't really, you know what I mean? Like because he did struggle to get away and got away.
I doubt that. I don't even think they get any mental health training whatsoever. So I doubt that they're trained to recognize the behavior of somebody who is trying to do suicide by cop, because there are certain behaviors, I'm sure there are like certain markers that you can look for in certain situations. But there's been so many times where cops have been called on a mental health call because somebody's suicidal, and then the cops come and then they try to do suicide by cop, and they end up killing the person. And it's like you just kill somebody who is suicidal.
Yeah.
Like,
and
you're supposed to like actually prevent it, but they have no mental health training.
And like Oz said, they needed prompting, though. They needed me to prompt them to say, like, no, she needs to be able to go over and see her child that just got detained.
Yeah.
She's having severe anxiety. She would not have been able to, you know what I mean? I feel like without being able to see him, I don't feel like she would have been able to breathe, just being a parent. And she's got, younger kids that are there at the, at her house at the same time.
Yeah, they would have just driven off without letting her see him had you not been there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check in on her and and stuff tomorrow, and see how she's.
Yeah, she's gotta be having a rough time right now.
Yeah,
I can imagine. Ugh. But my mom, had issues with me and mental health too, but I won't get into that.
Yeah, it's just sad that we're in the state that we are in, you know, in this country right now. And what we need is community. What we need is to be there for each other and have compassion and, you know, and reach out and not feel ashamed to reach out and speak up.